Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. In this audio presentation, I will discuss a few more important solved examples, and that is related with speech writing. As you know that in my previous audio presentation, I discussed few solved examples related with speech writing. So in this audio presentation also, I will discuss some more sample questions that is related with speech writing so that ultimately your concept regarding speech writing be clear. So let's get started. And as you all remember that in my previous two audios, one audio I have given related with some valuable suggestions, some important suggestions related with speech writing. And apart from that, three important speech writing sample questions I had discussed. So in this audio presentation, I will discuss few more important questions. So now I am heading towards the next one, that is question number 4. See the question it is given. With the visual media technology overtaking the print media. Print media, as you know, it is newspapers, little magazines, journals, and all this. And visual media technology, that means news channels that are displayed on television. Along with that, even the technologies that we use to gather information about news from all over the world. Sometimes we get information from social media also in this. So one thing is very clear. If you see the very first line of this particular question, it will be clear to you that what is the main topic, what the speech is all about. So let's continue with the visual media technology. Visual means that you can visualize, that you can see. With the visual media technology overtaking the print media, you have observed a decline in the people's interest in reading books. Decline means there is a downfall. Previously, reading was a habit. It was considered as a very cultural habit, well cultured and refined habit also, you can say. But nowadays, with the improvement of technology, innovation in technology, we don't read so much. Now we are more involved in Facebook, Twitter, we are more involved in ebooks. But that armchair cozy reading by the fireplace, in an armchair, reading books, novels, stories, this is very rare. We don't see people, and we don't see youngsters or teenagers to do it. But previously, people used to read books. But now that reading habit, it is declining a lot. So let me continue with the question. You are disturbed by this excessive dependence of the young on television and computer games as the source of entertainment. Now, the younger generation, the teenagers, the young budding minds of our nation, not only of our nation, all over the world as a whole, the younger people, so they are obsessed with television, they are obsessed with computer games, video games, and all this, and they use all these things as a source of entertainment. They don't read as such as children previously used to do almost 20-30 years back. But now that reading habit or reading books, it had declined a lot. Write a speech in 120 to 150 words for your school magazine on the, and here I quote, this is the topic, pleasures of reading or the company of books. Now you have to write a speech, and the word limit already been given, 120 to 150 words, and it is related with the pleasures of reading or the company of books. Now that is the topic. You can either use any of the topic for your answer, means as a title. You can either use pleasures of reading also as a title, or if you wish, you can use the title the company of books also. Now here I have used the title the pleasures of reading, then by ABC, or if you wish, you can write your first name. Now let us start. And as you know, three paragraphs are very important. Changing of the paragraph is also important. And as you know, in the valuable tips, I also suggested that there should be a space between the paragraphs. As you can see here also, I've given space between the paragraphs. Now let us start. Now, directly I'm coming to the answer part. But before that, obviously, you can write with the formal intro and then you can come to the answer part, or directly you can come to the answer part as I have done here. So let's get started, dear students. Reading affords pleasure like no other activity. Now reading is something that can give us pleasure which no other activity can. It is deeply fulfilling and satisfying. It is very satisfying also. Reading, pleasures of reading ultimately gives us a lot of satisfaction. While reading, the reader is in direct communication with the writer, however distant he may be in time or space. Now, if we read, we are in close contact with the writer, no matter though a reader and a writer is separated by time and space, but we are in direct communication with the writer. The reader is fully focused and enjoys the content as well as the beauty and power of language. That there lies the power of reading. If a reader is completely focused, then he can appreciate the beauty of creativity and also the power of language. Reading offers an infinite variety according to one's taste. It creates a vast plethora of knowledge to us. It is like a treasure trove of knowledge. And the saying goes, as you know, dear students, the more we read, the more we learn. Knowledge, imagination, and the reader's own appreciation of the written word are some of the rewards of reading. Now, obviously, you will gain knowledge. Not only that, your mind will be creatively very strong. You will imagine a lot of things. It will enhance your power of creativity. It will enhance your power of imagination also. And obviously, as a reader, you will appreciate the written word, and obviously you will appreciate the writer's point of view also. These are some of the greatest rewards of reading. If one is adventurous, one can venture actually means to travel, venture into unknown cultures through books. Now if one is adventurous, then obviously an adventure book can lead you to travel to faraway lands, and you can experience the adventure, the thrill, the pleasures and mysteries of reading. And not only that, for example, a reading of Tolstoy's or Chekhov. Now, Tolstoy and Chekhov are famous men of letters of Russian language. Now, let me continue. For example, a reading of Tolstoy or Chekhov gives us an insight. Insight means it gives us some knowledge, an insight into the life of the Russians, as a reading of Dickens gives us of the British, particularly of London dwellers. Now, a writer or a composer is a mirror of the age in which he or she lives. Now, if you read books of Chekhov, Anton Chekhov, or Leo Tolstoy, you will get some information about the Russian culture during those days in which they have composed their reading materials. Or if you read Charles Dickens, obviously you will get an idea of the Britishers, or of the social life of the people of London, particularly during that time period. So, as I already told, an author is a mirror of his age. Not only we can get an insight into the particular story or the composition of an author, but also we'll get an insight into the socio-cultural life of the country to which he or she belongs. That is the reason if you read Tolstoy or Chekhov, you will get some information about the Russian life, social life. If you read Charles Dickens also, similarly you will get information about the social life of the people of London or London dwellers. Now I am moving on to the next paragraph. Reading makes us more sensitive to human greatness as well as human suffering. That means we can get pleasure in pain and pain in pleasure. That means at the same time, we will be very much aware or sensitive to human greatness, as well as we will be sensitive towards human suffering also. A reading of Munshi Premchand's short stories acquaints us with the strengths and weakness of human character. Munshi Premchand is said to be one of the greatest short story writer of our country, particularly of Hindi literature. Now, if you read his short stories, translated short stories also, it will help you to be familiar with the human beings, with the human character, with the strength and the weakness of the human character. The classics of literature are eternal in their appeal. The classics, the children classics, the adult classics, classics of any kind, classical literature to be very precise, they are eternal in their mass appeal. I am moving on to the last segment now. So let me continue with the last segment. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, today most of us visit the celluloid version of Sarath Chandra Chatterjee's Devdas 3-4 times. The original printed one, not even once. Now, the important thing is that Sarath Chandra Chattopadhyay is also a very famous author of Bengali literature. Now, if we talk about his masterpiece Devdas, hardly few people read it. But everyone is very interested to see the movie, but no one is interested to read and appreciate it. Now, the important thing is that we have to enhance and we have to encourage the younger generation that reading, there is no alternative to reading, and pleasures of reading are always very essential for every one of us. So that ends question number 4. Now I'm moving on, dear students, to the next question, that is question number 5. Now this is a very important question. It is related with our relevant topic, that is the hazards of global warming. So let me come to this. See, the question is given: the world that we are living in, that means the world in the 21st century, is under a great threat of extinction. Extinction means extermination. That means the world is in danger of extinction, and every living creatures might extinct from this world. Why? There are some reasons. See, large scale pollution, deforestation, and industrialization are suffocating the environment. Now, with the advent of modern civilization, these diseases are also there. Diseases in the sense that pollution, deforestation, and industrialization, these things are the three fatal problems or diseases that is totally deteriorating the lifestyle of the common people. And not only that, they are suffocating the environment also. You, as a concerned citizen, want to share the causes and effects of global warming. Now, you are a concerned citizen. You are a very concerned citizen, and as a concerned citizen, you want to share the causes and effects of global warming. You would also like to give a few suggestions on how to contribute to the making of a better world. Now, as a remedy or as a remedial measure, you can also give few suggestions of how to make this world a better place. As Vivek or Vinita Arora, head boy or girl of the school, prepare a speech on the issue for the morning assembly under the heading The Hazards of Global Warming. So, as the head boy or the head girl of your school, you have to prepare a speech that will be delivered in the morning assembly under the heading The Hazards of Global Warming, and the word limit, it is 120 to 150 words. That has already been specified. Now the word limit might increase here and there, but the main important thing is that if you listen and if you follow the samples that as a material I have provided previously, and I have provided even today also, you will find that you will get a lot of ideas. You will gather a lot of ideas also. So let's continue. The hazards of global warming, that is the possible heading that can be given. Now you have to introduce, and before that you have to wish everyone, and that is one of the most important part of a speech writing. See here also, it is written, respected principal, teachers, and dear friends. This morning, I wish to draw your attention to the catastrophe. Catastrophe means it is something related with massive destruction. That is catastrophe. This morning, I wish to draw your attention to the catastrophe that is slowly and surely coming towards us. A catastrophe that is approaching slowly but surely. It is approaching towards us. Us means it is about to destroy the human civilization. It is slowly and steadily it is approaching towards us. I am talking about the hazards of global warming, and then you will have to introduce the topic to the listeners that you are about to talk about the hazards, the negative impacts of global warming. Now, already you have introduced. Now, you have to move on to the main part. Now, you have to specify the problems that is related with global warming. So, let us get started. Some of my friends may not be aware of global warming. The term or this term means the rise of the temperature of the atmosphere surrounding our planet. Now, what exactly is global warming? People talk about global warming every now and then, but we should know exactly what is global warming all about. Now, global warming, the term actually means the rise in the temperature of the atmosphere, or we can say atmospheric rise of temperature surrounding our planet Earth. This is happening because of over industrialization. Now, there are some factors related to this. Number one is over industrialization, number two, large scale pollution, and number three, deforestation. Now, these are the factors that are responsible for the high rise in temperature of the atmosphere surrounding our planet. Three main factors. Number one, industrialization. Number two, large scale pollution. And number three, deforestation. Hot emissions from industry and release of harmful poisonous chemicals in the air are making the atmosphere of the earth warmer. Not only the emissions from the industry or industrial belts on one hand, but also the release of poisonous harmful chemicals in the air, or we can say in the atmosphere surrounding us. It is making the earth warmer, and obviously it is a big threat to our existence. Now I am moving on to the next paragraph. What are the hazards of global warming? Now, what are the problems, or what global warming actually causes? Already the polar ice caps have started melting. Now, these are the hazards of global warming. The polar ice caps, they have already started melting. This can bring disaster to the world. Obviously, we may be negligent of this right now, but this melting of the ice caps, uh, it has already started, the polar ice caps, and it can bring disaster to the entire world. Huge glaciers in the Himalayas and other mountains are shrinking. This will cause a rise in the sea level and will eventually lead to the flooding of coastal areas. Obviously, the sea level will rise as a result of this, and flooding will take place near about in the coastal regions, or you can say in the coastal areas. Global warming will also bring about changes in the world climate. Not only that, global warming will also affect in the world climate also. There will be excessive rainfall, there will be excessive floods, unbearable heat and cold. That means the temperature will fluctuate, and natural calamities will occur every now and then. There will be excessive rainfall, there will be excessive floods, then obviously unbearable scorching heat wave, and obviously when there is cold, it will be too cold. All these things will happen. That means there will be a lot of changes in the weather, in the temperature, you can say. There will be a lot of fluctuations also in the environment. These changes will surely bring disaster. These changes, ultimately, it will bring downfall, or rather to say, it will bring disaster to the flora and fauna of our planet. That means to the plant and to the animal kingdom, to both the flora and fauna, that is the plant and the animal kingdom, it will bring a lot of disaster. And many of the species will become extinct also in near future if this thing is not controlled. And remember, dear students, that in the question it has been told that you have to give some remedy also regarding this. So what should be a remedy? What can we do about this problem? We have to do something. As one of the most rational creatures in this planet, we surely have to do something. The countries need to exercise discipline about putting up industries. Effective measures to control pollution are needed. We have to control the pollution, and not only that, uh, regarding the industrial wastage and emissions from the industries, we have to strictly check that one. We have to be disciplined regarding that, and pollution level has to be controlled. Now we are about to conclude this particular speech. Friends, I have tried to acquaint you with the problem the whole world is facing. Now, finally, you are about to close up your speech statement. So, you are saying, friends, I have tried to acquaint you to make you familiar with the problem the entire world is facing and the problem that is very much relevant, that is global warming. And finally, you end it by writing thank you. Remember this thank you. I already told you, I mentioned it previously. This thing is a must. You have to mention it. Okay, dear students, now I'm moving on to question number 6. This is also a very, very important question. You are Rajni or Rajat God. After seeing some obese children in your school, you are worried about the craze for junk food and electronic gadgets in students. That not only junk food, but obsession or addiction towards the use of electronic gadgets that can be also seen among the school students nowadays. Write a speech to be read out in the morning assembly, highlighting the need to have good eating habits and the benefits of outdoor activities. But the students nowadays, they prefer to stay indoors and indulge themselves in electronic gadgets, in social media, then obviously playing video games on the computer. So the students are involved in all this. They don't spend time, they don't play so much, and or rather to say, they don't involve themselves so much in outdoor activities. Some of the students they do, but not everyone. And obviously they have irregular sleeping habits, they have irregular food habits. It is causing a lot of problem in terms of their health. So this speech, the topic of the speech is related to this. Now how will you frame it? At the very beginning, introduction has to be given, and remember the word limit 120 to 150 words. Now how will you start? Respected principal, teachers, and dear friends, today I am standing before you to express my views on the topic obesity among school children. Now, you are standing in front of everyone, you are introducing yourself, and obviously, at the same time, you are mentioning the topic that you are discussing or you are about to discuss. That topic is obesity among school children. Obesity has become a cause of concern for one and all. Obesity is now a huge factor. It is a very strong factor. It is a cause of concern for everyone. With the entry of companies like KFC, like McDonald's, like Pizza Huts, etc., the concept of fast food has spread like a wildfire. Now, many fast food companies have mushroomed in our country. Now, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, KFC, all these are very noticeable, very famous also. And it seems that with the mushrooming of all these companies dealing with fast foods, it seems that the craze for fast food has increased a lot. It is it is like a wildfire. It has spread like a wildfire all over. And the children, mostly the teenagers, they are very crazy about it. It has created a lot of hype. The mushrooming of these food companies in our country, it had created a lot of hype. And it seems that the young children, mostly the youngsters, they prefer to consume fast food more than anything else. More and more school children have taken to chocolates and soft drinks without worrying for calories. Now, it seems that this the phase in a life of a student, they should maintain a healthy diet. But it seems that they don't care about calories a lot. They go on munching chips. They go on having soft drinks. They go on munching chocolates without hardly caring about the calories as such. The result, ultimately the body doesn't permit everything. Ultimately it results in obesity, which goes on increasing by leaps and bounds among school children. It is not a one day affair. So this obesity, this disease develops in a child after a prolonged phase of time. That means slowly and slowly it develops in a child by leaps and bounds. And finally, obesity can be seen more in school children, more in youngsters, more in younger generation of our country. Now I'm moving on to the next paragraph. Junk food appeals to our taste buds, but our digestive system repels it. Now, obviously, junk food are very delicious. It appeals to our taste buds, but obviously, when it comes to digestive system, it is unbearable. Oil and extra fat harm our liver. We are unconscious of it, but we should remember that if we consume oil and extra fat, it harms our liver. We put on we put on flesh and increase our weight. Obviously, putting on flesh is not a harmful thing, but if we do regular exercise and put on flesh and muscles, it's okay. But if we put on flesh and if we become bulkier day by day, day in and day out, by consuming oil related foodstuffs, and obviously foodstuffs that has some extra calories, then obviously it will harm our liver also. And not only our liver, but it will also make us bulky. Now we will become overweight. Now that is very harmful, dear students. Fresh home cooked meals are hygienic, better, and full of vitamins. We say sometimes that foods cooked by our mother, it is the healthy diet for us. That it is hygienic, number one. Number two, it is full of vitamins and it will give you a lot of energy and nourishment. But still, the younger generation or youngsters, they are still lured towards fast food. Minerals can be easily digested. Our food should consist of cereals, green and leafy vegetables, fruits and pulses, etc. We should consume fruits, pulses, leafy vegetables, green and leafy vegetables. Then only it will help us to maintain a proper diet. To keep ourselves agile. Agile means, dear students, to keep ourselves super active, energetic, and strong. Strong, or you can say robust. We must do physical exercises. Now, physical exercises are a must. Now, if we want to keep ourselves healthy, if we want to keep ourselves energetic, if we want to be very strong, athletic, and robust, obviously, apart from taking healthy diet, we should also do a bit of physical training, or rather to say physical exercises also. And what sort of physical exercises we should be involved in? Like football, like badminton, like kabaddi, cricket, volleyball, etc. Any sort of sports that will exert a lot of, uh, I mean, what to say, that will help to develop your muscles, that will help to regain stamina and flexibility, that will keep you fit, robust, athletic, and healthy. So you should actually practice those games and sports. Like football is there, like badminton is there, like volleyball, cricket, kabaddi, etc. All this. Now I am moving on to the last paragraph of this particular answer. By eating healthy food, doing regular physical training or exercise or activities. Training you can write, exercise you can write, activities you can write. Not only our body will be healthy and well toned, our minds will also remain active. Not only our body will be healthy, well toned, but our minds will also remain active. I hope you all will give some consideration to my suggestion and try to instill it in your daily routine. Now, at the end of your speech, you will say that obviously everyone should give some due consideration to the speech or to what you have said, so that they should follow it in their daily routine. And finally, you have to say thank you, or in other words, you can write thank you all for giving me a patient hearing. In that way, also, you can end it, or you can write simply thank you, or you can write thank you all for giving a patient hearing. Now, dear students, I am moving on to the last one, question number 7. Look at the question once. It is related with yoga. That is a form of physical training. So let me get started. Yoga is beneficial. Speak about the benefits of yoga in the morning assembly. So you have to give a speech rather about the benefits of yoga in the morning assembly. Word limit is given 120 to 150. Now how will you proceed? Obviously with the normal formal intro at the very beginning you have to write. So see, I have given here respected principal, teachers and friends. A very good morning to one and all. Now, this is the way you have to approach a speech. These are the techniques that you have to follow. That is the reason this sample, this sample part is very important. These sample solved exercises are very important. See, respected principal, teachers and friends, a very good morning to one and all. Today, I am standing before you to express my views on the benefits of practicing yoga. Now, obviously, you have to give an intro related with the topic that you are discussing, and obviously, you are discussing about the benefits of yoga. Now, you are changing the topic. Changing the paragraph, sorry, not changing the topic, changing the paragraph. See, many of us perform yoga, but we do not know. Do we know what this entails and why it is performed? Now, we all perform yoga, but how many of we know that why it is performed? Basically, yoga is a means to attain balance in our body. Actually, the reason why we do yoga is to attain balance in our body. That is obviously gaining strength, also to increase flexibility and attaining spirituality. These are the three pillars that can be attained if we practice yoga. Number one, it will give us body strength or bodily strength as we know about it. It will increase flexibility also, and obviously it will help us to attain spirituality also. Postures and asanas are an indispensable part of yoga. Asanas and postures also, they are very important, indispensable part of yoga. Indispensable means very important, that you cannot ignore it. So postures and different sort of asanas are very important form of yoga. So this should be given due consideration. Indispensable part, very very important part. So I repeat, dear students, postures and asanas are an indispensable part of yoga. These are performed keeping in mind all the body parts. Now, obviously, the asanas are performed keeping in mind all the body parts, combining breathing practices and includes guided meditation. Now, obviously, breathing practices are also performed in yoga, and yoga is actually a union between body and mind. This is very important. It is actually a cord of communication. It is a union between two things, two essential components of our existence and of our survival. One is the body and the mind. So yoga is the union, the ultimate union between body and mind. In other words, we can say it is a perfect balance between mind and help us keep ourselves fit and fine. Now, it is a perfect balance between mind and body, and if we perform yoga on a regular basis, obviously it will keep us fit and fine. Now I am moving on to the next paragraph. Paragraph change is very, very important. You have to change the paragraph when it is necessary. Yoga has the potential to cure many diseases. Yes, it has the power. If you practice yoga on a regular basis, obviously it has the power and the potency to cure many deadly diseases like respiratory problem. If someone is suffering from respiratory problem, uh, then if he performs yoga or few asanas, obviously he can cure his respiratory problem also, abdominal problem, and diseases related to the nervous system. So respiratory problem, diseases related with the nervous system uh, can also be cured. Abdominal problem also can be cured if we practice yoga. Not only that, yoga helps in releasing toxins. Toxins, harmful substances that are in our body, it helps us to release those. And it reduces stress also and increases concentration. It increases the powers of concentration. That means it increases the power of meditation. That is the reason it is the union between the body and the mind. It increases the power of concentration. It reduces stress also, and it helps in releasing toxins or toxic substances from the body. That means, in short, we can say yoga helps us keep disease free, happy, wealthy, and wise and toned up. Now, yoga ultimately lead us to have a happy and a healthy lifestyle. Yoga initiate a happy and a healthy lifestyle. Yoga is a never ending process. Now, it is a process that we can follow, I mean, in our old age also. It is a never ending process. The deeper you delve into it, the more fruitful will be the results. That means practice, as we know, practice makes a man perfect. We hear about it. The more we practice yoga, obviously, if we delve deeper intensely into it, then it will be more fruitful to us. Finally, you have to conclude it. So, I would like to end my speech on this note. You can say in this way. And finally, you can write, "Thank you all for giving me a patient hearing." And finally, you will say thank you to your students, to your teachers and to your fellow students, or to your junior students, and also to your friends, that you want to say thank you to everyone for a patient hearing. So you can write like this way, that I would like to end my speech on this note. After that, you can add one line by saying thank you all for giving me a patient hearing. So that is it. I explained question number 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4 questions I have explained. 3 already I have explained previously in my audio presentation. So dear students, listen to this audio presentation. I know it's a lengthy one, but obviously if you take some time and if you listen to it, it will help you to develop your concept related with speech writing, and it will be acquainted with many relevant topics also. I discussed many relevant topics in this audio presentation. I know it is a bit lengthy one, and it is almost more than a half an hour audio, but if you listen to it, it will help you to clear up your concept, and it will boost up your confidence also in solving speech writing. So I hope, dear students, you will listen to this, and if there is any doubt anywhere, do let me know about it. Thank you, students. Thank you all.